Electronic stability control is a technology that helps the driver, once they start to lose control of the car, to regain control and maintain their intended path. And hopefully that's along the road and they keep going and don't have a crash. Electronic stability control has been mandatory on all light passenger vehicles in Australia, so that's sedans and four-wheel drives, since 2011. But it's been an option for many years before that. And that means that there are still many cars around now without electronic stability control fitted, and therefore they can't benefit from this technology. During 2016, there were 140 fatalities on Victorian roads involving loss of control crashes. What we did is we went through each of those in turn and we made a judgment about, had the car been fitted with ESC, would the crash still have occurred? And that's where we found that 41 of those 140 crashes would very likely have been preventable had the car been fitted with ESC. ESC plays an important role in preventing road trauma because many roads in Victoria, particularly the less well-used country roads, don't have very good shoulders. They're often quite narrow. And if the driver happens to become distracted or looks away from the road for a minute and drifts onto the off the road carriageway onto the shoulder, what drivers usually do is they pull on the steering wheel to get back control of the car, and that will often cause the car to lose control in a slippery gravel shoulder, for example. What ESC will do in that particular case is, as the car starts to lose control, ESC can brake individual wheels, which is something that the driver can't do themselves, and they couldn't do it fast enough even if they could. It brakes individual wheels to get the car back pointing where the driver pointed the steering wheel. And in many cases that can help them get back onto the road safely and continue on. And even when ESC, when it's fitted to the car, even if it can't get you to retain control on the road, what it will often do is make sure that you have a frontal crash instead of a side crash. And in a frontal crash, the car is much better equipped to protect the occupants from being killed or seriously injured. It's really important that people consider ESC and make sure that it is fitted to any used car that they purchase, to help prevent them and their families from being injured or killed in run-off road crashes.
Recent study conducted by the TAC and Monash University Accident Research Centre looked at all fatalities last year. It found that 140 of those fatality crashes occurred where the vehicles ran off the road. And of those, 41 could have been completely prevented had the cars had electronic stability control on them. We find it important in all sorts of circumstances, but on high-speed country roads, particularly where we have gravel shoulders, it really allows people to come off the road slightly but gently steer back on, because the 4 independent braking systems actually make sure that the car is going in the direction you're steering it in. We've got close to 25% of vehicles in the Victorian fleet now having it. But what's really important is, if you're looking for a new car, second-hand or brand new, make sure that it has ESC. We know from previous research by Monash University Accident Research Centre, if everybody moved to the safest vehicle in their class, that we could reduce serious road trauma by a third overnight. When we see vehicle safety technologies mandated, we know what that means is that the evidence base behind them is very strong. We've got some really good information on the TAC's howsafeisyourcar.com.au website.